Which cell component would be most affected if a toxin blocked ATP production? Correct answer is mitochondria. A plant kept in darkness for several days will eventually die because it cannot. Correct answer is carry out photosynthesis. Which molecule carries genetic information from nucleus to ribosome? Correct answer is mRNA. Which organism does not rely on oxygen directly for survival? Correct answer is yeast in anaerobic condition. Which structure controls what enters and leaves the cell? Correct answer is cell membrane. Which type of reproduction produces genetically identical offspring? Correct answer is asexual reproduction. Which part of the nephron filters blood? Correct answer is glomerulus. Which kingdom includes organisms that are both autotrophic and heterotrophic? Correct answer is Protista. Which structure in plant cells stores water and maintains turgor pressure? Correct answer is vacuole. Which adaptation helps desert plants reduce water loss? Correct answer is thick cuticle. Which type of mutation involves a change in a single nucleotide? Correct answer is point mutation. Which enzyme breaks down starch into sugar? Correct answer is amylase. Which part of the neuron carries impulses away from the cell body? Correct answer is axon. A mutation changes a codon but does not alter the amino acid sequence. This is due to. Correct answer is degeneracy of the genetic code. Which scenario would most likely disrupt oxidative phosphorylation without affecting glycolysis? Correct answer is absence of oxygen. In a plant, if phloem transport is blocked but xylem remains functional, what happens first? Correct answer is sugar accumulation in leaves. A scientist removes histones from eukaryotic DNA. What is the most immediate consequence? Correct answer is DNA cannot condense properly. Which process ensures that each gamete receives only one allele of each gene? Correct answer is segregation during meiosis I. A drug blocks ATP synthesis in mitochondria. Which process continues normally for some time? Correct answer is glycolysis. In a food chain, if secondary consumers are removed, what is the immediate effect? Correct answer is increase in primary consumers. Which cellular component would be directly affected by a toxin that prevents disulfide bond formation? Correct answer is proteins. A person with a defective immune response cannot produce antibodies. Which cells are most likely affected? Correct answer is B. Lymphocytes. Which phase of mitosis involves alignment of chromosomes at the equator? Correct answer is metaphase. Which situation best demonstrates convergent evolution? Correct answer is similar wings in bats and insects. During intense exercise, lactic acid accumulates because. Correct answer is oxygen supply is insufficient. Which process would be directly affected if RNA polymerase is inhibited? Correct answer is transcription. A plant cell placed in a hypertonic solution undergoes plasmolysis. What happens to the cell membrane? Correct answer is it shrinks away from the cell wall. Which factor most directly drives natural selection? Correct answer is environmental pressure. Which process is responsible for variation in sexual reproduction? Correct answer is meiosis. Which organelle is directly involved in modifying and packaging proteins? Correct answer is Golgi apparatus. If the ribosomes of a cell were destroyed, what would be the immediate effect? Correct answer is protein synthesis stops. Which structure is present in prokaryotic cells but absent in eukaryotic cells? Correct answer is nucleoid. Which process reduces chromosome number by half? Correct answer is meiosis. Which level of organization includes all ecosystems on Earth? Correct answer is biosphere. Which nitrogenous base pairs with adenine in DNA? Correct answer is thymine. Which process involves movement of water across a semipermeable membrane? Correct answer is osmosis. Which process forms two identical daughter cells? Correct answer is mitosis. Which kingdom includes multicellular organisms that lack cell walls? Correct answer is Animalia. Which part of DNA contains genetic instructions? Correct answer is nitrogenous base sequence. Which process releases energy from glucose without oxygen? Correct answer is fermentation. Which gas is required for aerobic respiration? Correct answer is oxygen. Which process increases genetic variation during meiosis? Correct answer is crossing over. Which structure is responsible for initiating protein synthesis by reading mRNA? Correct answer is ribosome. Which component of blood lacks a nucleus in humans? Correct answer is RBCs. Which enzyme is responsible for unwinding DNA during replication? Correct answer is helicase. Which process converts pyruvate into carbon dioxide and water? Correct answer is Krebs cycle plus electron transport chain. Which organelle contains hydrolytic enzymes for intracellular digestion? Correct answer is lysosome. Which part of the flower develops into a fruit after fertilization? Correct answer is ovary. Which organism is a primary consumer? Correct answer is goat. Which phase of meiosis involves separation of homologous chromosomes? Correct answer is anaphase 1.